Good morning, everybody. My name is Jason, and I am the Jolly Cruise Vlogger, and the wifey's here today as well. And today, we are actually at Disney's Port Orleans French Quarter for breakfast.
Because y'all know this girl loves beignets.
Yes. But this is where we're going to start with breakfast here. But the whole purpose of today is to figure out, is Disney Springs just a cruise port? You're like, no, it's Disney Springs. So the hypothesis is that Disney Springs is a cruise port. What do you think? Think about it right now. Lock it in. Is Disney Springs just a cruise port? And then after the end of the video, you tell me, was my hypothesis and your hypothesis correct, or was it wrong?
The wifey's here only for beignets.
Yeah, she's just getting breakfast.
And a candy latte, and I'm peacing out.
She's got to go to work, so you're stuck with me after that, Disney Springs. But we're gonna prove or disprove that Disney Springs is just a cruise port.
And I'll let you know if these beignets are better than the one on the Celebration and the Mardi Gras.
Yep. Let's go eat.
Let's go.
Alright, so finished breakfast, had the Mickey beignets.
They're so cute. Look at the picture.
A+ because they are mini shaped. Ooh, they don't have.
They don't have mini, they're Mickey shaped. There was no bow on the beignets.
Wow, I'm looking at a minivan right now, so.
Oh yeah, you are.
Brainchild. So because they are Mickey shaped, we do get bonus points for that.
They're really good.
Yeah, beignets were great. Coffee.
Joffrey's coffee is great. It's one of my favorites, but I prefer the drip than the lattes,
Yeah.
cappuccinos.
It was I got the peppermint latte. Definitely more latte than peppermint.
I got a caramel one and couldn't even taste the caramel, so I'm not even sure it had caramel in it.
I watched her squirt the pump in there, but nonetheless,
it was still good. We still drink them.
Yep. So she's off to work, and I am going to go determine if Disney Springs is a cruise port or not. So let's go.
Have fun.
When a cruise ship is getting to a new port, there's two different ways that you can get off of the ship and onto port. Either the ship can A, park at the pier, let the gangway down, and you walk right off. Or B, it would be considered a tender port, where the ship would dock away from the port, and then smaller little boats would run between the port and the ship to pick passengers and guests up from the ship, bring them back to the port, and then bring them back from the port to the ship. That's a tendering process. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take the tender boat from Port Orleans, our quote-unquote ship, and go to Disney Springs, which may or may not be a cruise port, still yet to be determined. Just like the tender boats take 15 to 20 minutes to go from the port to the ship or the ship to the port, it's about a 15 to 20 minute boat ride for the Pascagoula Steamboat Company to go between Port Orleans and Disney Springs, or Disney Springs back to Port Orleans. So let's sit back and enjoy some nature scenes as we head off to Disney Springs. As we do get closer to Disney Springs, you can see the skyline that includes Cirque du Soleil, the House of Blues Water Tower, Planet Hollywood, as well as the hot air balloon ride. After getting off the boat, it's a short walk up the ramp and across the dock into the Disney Springs marketplace, and that's where we begin to test our hypothesis. We are at Disney Springs right now, and like some cruise ports, you do have to take a tender shuttle from the ship to the port. Well, we did that this morning. We took a boat ride from Port Orleans French Quarter over to Disney Springs. So that was our tender boat. So check one for Disney Springs being a cruise port. But now, in order to determine if it really is a cruise port or not, I went to ChatGPT, the authority on everything apparently, to say, hey, ChatGPT, what are the standard qualifications for a cruise port? They broke it down into 5 categories. They gave me 25 different things. I broke it down to the categories of attractions and activities, shopping, transportation, food and drinks, entertainment and culture, and cruise terminal services. Now let's start taking these categories and breaking them down a little bit further to determine if Disney Springs is a cruise port or not. Starting with attractions and activities. Under that, it does say there's local beaches and resorts, snorkeling, scuba, and boat tours, zip lines and waterfalls, historical landmarks and museums, and city sightseeing tours. Now, there are no beaches here at Disney Springs, but you can take a bus ride over to Caribbean Beach Resort or the Grand Floridian Spa and Resort, and there's beaches there, so you can hang out on those beaches. Check that one. Snorkeling, scuba, and boat tours. At this point right now, there is no more snorkeling. There used to be snorkeling available at Typhoon Lagoon. Scuba diving can be done at the Living Seas over in Epcot, and Disney Springs does offer boat tours both on the Amphicars, as well as you can take fishing charters out. So that's a check for snorkeling, scuba, and boat tours. Moving on to zip lines and waterfalls, there are neither one of those here at Disney Springs, so unfortunately that's not a check. Historical landmarks and museums. There is all kinds of historical facts that have happened here in Disney World. Anything from Richard Nixon's I am not a crook speech at the Contemporary to John Lennon signing the paperwork that would break up the Beatles while he was staying at the Polynesian Resort, to basically Planet Hollywood having museums of all kinds of different movie artifacts. So check for historical landmarks and museums. City sightseeing tours, you can get on any one of the Disney buses and it will tour you around all of Disney property. So I would say yes, you can definitely do sightseeing tours of the Disney area from Disney Springs. So check that. So under attractions and activities, of the 5 they have listed, 4 of them are checked. The next area we're going to look at is shopping. And shopping can be broken down into 4 different categories of duty-free stores, souvenir shops, local handmade crafts and artwork, and jewelry and gemstone stores. Continuing to break down shopping a little bit further, we're looking at duty-free stores. As you know, if you've ever gone to any cruise port, you have to go in and out through a duty-free shop, and those are the shops that do not charge taxes. Unfortunately, with all the stores that Disney Springs has, none of them are going to be duty-free. They do all operate in the state of Florida, and they do charge a Florida state sales tax. So that one's a no. Along the same lines, when we're looking at souvenir shops, that's pretty much all Disney Springs is, especially the World of Disney, which is the largest Disney merchandise store in the world. Any type of merchandise that you can think of is going to have Mickey Mouse or Disney on it. Whether it be hats, shirts, magnets, shot glasses, coffee mugs, anything you can think of is going to have Disney on there. So souvenir shops, check. Local handmade crafts and artwork, you're not going to have a whole lot of the craft side of things. You will have a little kiosk here, pop up here and there, that's going to sell a different type of craft work. But if you look at the wall here, which is going to be over near the bus loop, this is all local artwork done. So local handmade crafts and artwork, check. Jewelry and gemstone stores, yes, there's plenty of them here in Disney Springs. You've got Pandora stores, you've got Nohuka, which I may have mispronounced that one. You've got all kinds of different jewelry stores all throughout Disney Springs. So that one's a check. So under shopping, on the 4 subcategories, let's put a check mark by 3 of those. Moving on to the next category of food and drinks, that is broken down into 4 sections. Bars with tropical cocktails, local street food vendors, seafood restaurants, and coffee shops. Now, Disney Springs has over 60 different places to grab something to eat, grab a drink. These range anywhere from food trucks to kiosks that sell beer and pretzels and snacks, to a steakhouse, to fine dining restaurants. They have any kind of food item you can think about, you can find here at Disney Springs. You can even get a cookie if you want to wait in this long line here at Gideon's Bakery. But just to let you know, you do have to get here early because this line has been here for a while because it's only 10:30 in the morning. And look at how long it is already. starting with bars with tropical cocktails. Shortly after you get off the tender boat, there's this margarita bar right here. And guess what? There are tropical cocktails here. So that one is a check. Moving on to the next category of local street food vendors. There's a food truck area. There's multiple kiosks set up throughout all of Disney Springs. So that one's a check. When it comes to seafood restaurants, the majority of the sit-down restaurants here in Disney Springs do have at least one seafood option. We've got the Boathouse here, which does have fresh oysters. Then there's also paddlefish. That one's a check. When it comes to coffee shops, there are two different Starbucks here at Disney Springs, and you have a Joffrey's. In my opinion, Joffrey's is better than Starbucks, but we're all entitled to our own opinion. So that one, definitely a check. So looking at food and drinks as a whole, it's a sweep, 4 for 4, all checks, meaning they all fit the description of a cruise port when it comes to Disney Springs. In the next category of things you'll find at a cruise port is going to be transportation. Now, transportation can be broken down into 3 separate categories of taxis and shuttle vans, tour buses, and rental cars, scooters, and ATVs. Looking at taxis and shuttle vans specifically, there are 2 different places that you can catch an Uber or Lyft ride here at Disney Springs, and they are located on either side of the entire complex. There's one over by the marketplace, then the other one is going to be over on the Cirque du Soleil area. But you can also pick up a minivan, which is going to be located in the bus loop area. So when it comes to taxis and shuttle vans, that's a check. The next subcategory is going to be on tour buses. Yes, Disney has plenty of bus transportation to and from Disney Springs, to their various resorts and all over Disney property. So yes, tour buses is a check. The last category under transportation is going to be rental cars, scooters, and ATVs. This is going to be a little bit questionable because there are no places in Disney Springs to rent ATVs or rental cars. However, you can rent strollers and you can rent ECVs. So that one, I don't know, what do you want to say, a half a check on that one? So overall, when we're looking at transportation at Disney Springs to determine if it is a cruise port, you got 2.5 out of 3. I'd say that's pretty close. Moving on to entertainment and culture, that can be broken down into live music and dancers, cultural performances, street performers, and photo op characters. There are 3 different public live music venues across Disney Springs. Got one in the marketplace, one near the Boathouse, and one over near AMC Theaters. All 3 of these stages do have live music on a continuous basis, primarily on nights and weekends. And they do include dancers at times as well. So live music and dancers, that one is a check. There are going to be cultural performances based upon the time of the year, based upon the group that is performing. Unfortunately, right now at 10:30 in the morning, there's nothing going on. So cultural performances, I know for a fact they do happen. So that, again, that one is a check. Street performers, occasionally Disney Springs will have stilt walkers going on. Not really too many street performers unless you're looking at Eddie Maserati. If you don't know who Eddie Maserati is, he is the Disney Spring Ferrari man dancing guy. If you know, you know. Trust me on that one. So we'll give street performers, we'll say no. When it comes to photo op characters, Disney Springs is full of them, whether it is a princess, a painted wall, or a Lego statue. Definitely there are plenty of photo op characters around Disney Springs. This one is a check. I didn't stop at all of them, but there are definitely plenty of stops. Overall, on entertainment and culture, that's a 3 out of 4 when it comes to is Disney Springs a cruise port. And the last area we're going to talk about is going to be the cruise terminal services. Included in this section is going to be restrooms, tourist information booths, Wi-Fi spots, security and customs, and excursion desk check-ins. When talking about the restrooms here in Disney Springs, you'll notice that they are abundant. There's a lot of them around. They're clean and they're well maintained. So as comparison between Disney Springs and cruise terminal services, restrooms are definitely a check. Looking into tourist information booths, here in Disney Springs, you'll find that there is the Welcome Center that you can go and ask any questions that's Disney related about where you want to find things at. There's a ticket booth where you can buy tickets to the parks and make reservations. And then there's also the Orange County Sheriff's Department, which is right here on Disney Springs property. So any kind of question that you have, there's definitely somebody here to answer that. So when it comes to tourist information, check. Looking at Wi-Fi spots, Disney Springs has its own open, free Wi-Fi. So as soon as you get onto Disney Springs property, you can easily connect to the Disney Springs Wi-Fi, and you're all set up to go there for the rest of the day with no problems. So that one's a check as well. Port security and customs. There are no customs agents here. Disney Springs is an open air shopping, entertainment, and food district where you can come and go as often as you please. It is free. It is open to the public. It's easy to get to. So there are no customs people that you have to go through, but you do have to go through security. There are security checkpoints all throughout Disney Springs at every entrance, as well as Orange County Police Department walking Disney Springs consistently. So when we're looking at security and customs, that's a check. On the excursions and check-in desk, there are no real excursions that Disney Springs has. They do have a couple of attractions. They do have the cute little carousel, which is decorated right now for Christmas. They do have the hot air balloon, which is the world's largest helium-filled balloon that does go up on a steel cable about 300 feet up in the air, that you can get a good view of what's going on in that area. So while there are no excursions to check in for, there are areas where you can purchase attraction tickets for things here at Disney Springs, so that would be a check. So overall, on the cruise terminal services, we are 5 for 5 in comparison between Disney Springs and a cruise port. After a fun and scientific morning here at Disney Springs, it is time to go and catch our tender boat back to our resort. As we're walking, I realized that out of the 25 different items that ChatGPT told me what a cruise port is, Disney Springs has 21 and a half of those, which is 86% of those items. Now, I don't know what the cutoff is between a hypothesis being proven and disproven, but I'm going to go with 86% proves the fact that Disney Springs is a cruise port. Do you agree or disagree? Comment below if you disagree and tell me why, or comment below and say, yep, I do agree. Disney Springs is a cruise port. And like always, like, follow, share this video, comment, subscribe to the channel so that I can continue to provide you with daily vlogs when we're on cruise ships, ship tours, vital information, and fun topics like this. Because in the end, we all know that a cruise day is better than a work day any day. I still believe that putting these press painting machines in at cruise ports will be $1 million a month business. If you want to do it with me, let me know. We'll set it up.